All right, now let's look at finding quotients of complex numbers in the polar form. So what we're going to do is we're going to have this complex number, and we're going to divide it by this complex number. So essentially what we're going to do is we're going to take whichever one is first, that's going to be the modulus on, on top, like it is here. And whichever one is second, that's going to be the modulus that's on the bottom, like it is here. So you're essentially going to divide your moduli. Okay, so you're going to divide them, and you're going to subtract the first angle from the second angle. Okay, like you do here and here. Okay, so if we look at this one, we're actually going to find the quotient of, that should be a quotient, so z sub 1 divided by z sub 2. So z sub 1 divided by z sub 2, that's going to be 2 divided by 4 cosine of 213 minus 33 plus I sine of the same thing, 213 minus 33. Okay, so that will give me 1/2 cosine of 180 plus I sine of 180. Okay, so on the unit circle, at 180, this point right here is negative 1, 0. So that means that this is cosine. Cosine of 180 is negative 1. And sine of 180 is going to be 0. So this is 1/2 negative 1 plus I times 0. So really it's just 1/2 times negative 1 or negative 1/2. And that would be your final answer right there. Okay, next we want to look at the powers of complex numbers. So if I want to take this complex number and raise it to a power, how would that work out? Okay, so if I take my complex number and raise it to n, I will take my modulus and raise it to n, but I will take that n and multiply it by the argument or that angle. Okay. So if we look at this one, number 1, there's your complex number. The first thing that we need to do is to put that complex number into polar form. So we need to find what r is. So r is the square root of x squared plus y squared. Rx is negative square root of 3, and our y is just 1. So r is going to be the square root of negative 3, or negative square root of 3 squared, plus 1 squared. So this will be 3 plus 1. So that would be square root of 4, which would be 2. Then we're going to find our argument, or the theta. So x is negative square root of 3, r is 2 cosine theta. Divide both sides by 2. So this would be cosine theta is equal to negative square root of 3 over 2, which means the inverse of cosine of negative square root of 3 over 2, that's going to give me 150. Okay, make sure 150 is what you're supposed to have. We have a negative x and a positive y. So negative x, positive y, we should be in quadrant 2, which 150 is in quadrant 2, so that is the angle that I do need to use. Okay, so this negative square root of 3 plus I, that's the same thing as writing 2 cosine of 150 plus I sine of 150. Okay, now I can use Dead-Morville's theorem, which is this right here, because now I'm in polar form. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to raise this complex number to 8. So what we need to do for our polar form is this right here. So we're going to raise the 2 to 8. and then cosine of 8 times 150 plus I sine of 8 times 150. And that's it right there. So keep going. 2 raised to 8, that would be 256. Cosine of 8 times 150, that would be 1,200 degrees. I sine of the same thing, 1,200 degrees. Okay, so I'm going to get that back between 0 and 360. So I'm going to take the 12,000 and keep subtracting 360 until I get some number between 360. So if I do this 3 times, that will give me 120. And 120 is between 0 and 360. Okay, so this is really cosine of 120 plus I sine of 120. Okay, let me get rid of this right here. What I need to find is, well, what is a cosine of 120 and sine of 120? So 120 is in the second quadrant. Here's 120. To get my reference angle, I'll do 180 minus 120. That'll give me 60. So 60 right here, 30 right here, 90 right here. So this is negative 1. That's square root of 3, and this is 2. So 256. Cosine of 120 is the same thing as negative 1 over 2, or negative 1/2, plus I times sine of 120. That would be the square root of 3 over 2. So I'll go ahead and get rid of this. Okay, so now I need to distribute this 256 to this half and to this square root of 3 over 2, or basically it's the same thing as taking half of 256, which that would be 128. So this would be negative 128 plus 128I times the square root of 3. This right here would be your final answer. Okay, and then we'll look at roots of complex numbers. So if we're going to find the nth root of the complex number, what we're going to do is we're going to find the nth root of r, and then we will plug in our numbers into this formula right here. So if I'm looking at the square root of a complex number, I will have 2 answers. If I look at the fourth root of a complex number, I will have 4 answers, because this k right here will start at 0 and it'll go up to n minus 1. So if we're looking at the square root, then n is 2. So we'll have k values of 0 and then n minus 1, so that'd be 2 minus 1 and 1. Okay, so k would be 0 and 1. If it was cube root, then k would be 0, 1, and 2. Plug it into here, this would be 3 minus 1, or 2. So it would start at 0 and would go up to 2. Because it's the cube root, you will have 1, 2, 3 different answers. Because this was the square root, you have 1, 2 different answers. Okay, so if we're going to evaluate the fourth root of 16 cosine of 120 plus I sine of 120. So that means that Rn is 4 because of this right here. N is 4. We're looking for the fourth root. So I expect to have 4 different numbers. So my k is going to start at 0 and go up to n minus 1. So up to 3. So I'll use k for 0, 1, 2, and 3. Okay? So the fourth root of a complex number, we're going to take our modulus, 16, and find the fourth root of that, and then times cosine of, okay, our angle is 120 plus 2 pi is the same thing as 360 k all over, okay, n is 4, plus I sine of the same thing. 120 plus 360 k all over 4. Okay, so you could write this equation as this right here. The fourth root of a complex number is the, oops, sorry. We'll go generic here and do the nth root. The nth root is equal to the nth root of the modulus times cosine of your theta plus either 360k or 2 pi k, depending on if your degrees are radians, all over n plus I sine of the same thing. Theta plus 360k all over n. These two formulas are the same exact thing. Okay, this one looks like it's a little bit easier to use, so that's the one I'm using here. And then you just start off with say, okay, well, for k equal to 0, and I'm going to plug in 0 for these k's right here. So we would have, this is going to be equal to 16 raised to 1/4, or the fourth root. Cosine of 120 plus 360 times 0 divided by 4, plus I sine of 120 plus 360 times 0 divided by 4. Okay, really, so this just goes to 0, and I have 120 divided by 4. The fourth root of 16, you could write it like this right here. That they mean the same thing. So this would be cosine of 120 divided by 4 plus I sine of 120 divided by 4, which is the same thing as 30. So the fourth root of 16, that is 2. And we're looking at cosine of 30 plus I sine of 30. Okay, well, 30, if this is 30, this is 60, this is 90, this is square root of 3, this is 1, this is 2. Okay, this will be 2, and then cosine of 30 would be square root of 3 over 2, plus I, and then sine of 30 would be 1/2. Okay, then distribute this 2 to this term and to this term. So really I have a 2 in the top, a 2 in the bottom. They will be knocked out, or they'll cancel out. And this would be the square root of 3 plus 1i, or just I. So this is our first answer. We need 3 more after this one. Okay, so then you would say for k equal to 1, and you would do the whole process over again. 16 raised to 1/4 times cosine of 120 plus 360 times 1 divided by 4 plus I sine of the same thing, 120 plus 360 times 1 divided by 4. So we already said that this is 2. Okay, 120 plus 360, that's going to give me 480. Divide by 4 plus I sine of the same thing, 480 over 4. So this will be 2 cosine of, okay, 480 divided by 4, that is 120, plus I sine of 120. Okay, so 120 is in the second quadrant, so right here. To get my reference angle, I'm going to take 180 minus 220, and that will give me 60. So this is 60, this is 30, this is 90. This will be 1, square root of 3, and 2, and this will be negative. So this will be 2, and then cosine of 120 is negative 1/2, plus I, and then sine of 120 is a square root of 3 over 2. So this will be negative 1 plus I, square root of 3, and that is our second answer. We need 2 more.